Am I the only one that feels like Dodge is going out weak? Like going out real weak? Like, we went from revolutionizing the industry as far as performance cars are concerned with the Hellcat, with the Scat Pack, with, the Red Eye, with the Demon. We went from the top of the food chain, the best of the best, the most powerful, the biggest engines that you could ever buy from a dealership stock, to the first ones to literally leave the party at 9 o'clock with this electric BS that they're bringing to the table. I'm hearing Chevy is going to be dropping a Corvette, what they call it, a ZR1 or Z06, that's going to be putting down like 671 horsepower, and potentially a twin turbo Z06 or ZR1 C8 in the future that's going to be a twin turbo V8 putting down 800 plus. I'm hearing Ford is dropping their new Ford Mustang in 2024 that's going to be a V8 putting down 500 plus horsepower. It's going to be the Dark Horse edition. And then they're going to come out with the GT 500 that's going to be 800 plus with the big V8. Hell, I'm looking at Kia 2022 Kia EV6 GT, 576 horsepower, all-wheel drive. I'm not lying. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. As soon as Dodge leaves, it seems like everyone else steps up to the plate to take over. And we're going out weak. We went from the biggest and the baddest to the quietest and the saddest. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So as you can tell, I'm in a car that makes this a car vlog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's get into it, man. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because we are in the right place. For everything else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So yeah, man, I just feel like Dodge is going out weak. They didn't have to kill the V8 as soon as they did. Right? They made it seem like, the industry was putting so much pressure on the V8 automobiles and the V8 auto manufacturers that, it was one of those things like they either shut up and pack up, or they're just going to get shut down. Like, we're never going to see a Dodge again. That's the way they made it seem. Like, with the urgency that they moved from the V8 Hemi to this electric bullshit that they got coming out in 2024, they made it seem like the government or Department of Transportation put so much pressure on them that they just had to kill it all, right? But then Ford doubles down on the V8 and drops the Ford Mustang, and then the Ford Mustang Dark Horse with even more power, right? An even bigger V8. And of course, they've got a GT 500 variant coming soon. You know that. They're not just going to give you a 5.0 that's putting down 500 plus and leave it at that. They're going to give you a 5.0 that's putting down 500 plus, and then they're going to drop a GT 350 500 edition that's putting down 800. I'm hearing reports that Chevy is going to be dropping a C8. I think it's either Z06 or ZR1 that's going to be putting down later this year or later next year. That's going to be putting down 671 horsepower V8 twin turbo. I'm hearing that they could even be doing something in the future with the twin turbo V8 that's going to be putting down 800 horsepower ZR1 C8 Corvette. Hell, I'm looking, one of my homeboy subscribers, whatever you want to call them, sent me this article on caranddriver.com. 2022 Kia, not a Stinger, Kia EV6 GT, 576 horsepower, all-wheel drive, does the 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. So as soon as Dodge leaves the show, it's like everybody shows up and they just want to take off and take over. Meanwhile, we're bowing out politely and quietly in the back as if we never existed. There was a time when we revolutionized the industry with the Hellcat. Let's just be honest here. Granted, there have always been more powerful engines and more powerful cars than the Hellcat. I'm not saying that it was the best of the best. But to have a 707 horsepower sedan, 707 horsepower Challenger, American made, that you could buy stock at a dealership under $90,000 was unheard of. Nobody was doing that. Not Ford, not Chevy, not AMG, not McLaren, Lamborghini. Nobody was doing that. How many videos have we seen of Hellcats lining up next to McLarens, Hellcats lining up next to Lamborghinis, Hellcats lining up to Tesla Plaids, Demons lining up to Tesla Plaids? Our cars and our legacy has taken on every single car that you could possibly create. They were creating cars to destroy the Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? We broke the mold. We set the tone. We created the blueprint, and everybody else just followed suit. You saw Mustang do it with the GT 500, 750 plus. Everything that Ford was putting down prior to the Hellcat was what, 400, 500 plus. The GT 350 was like what, 550, 560, 580, something like that. Chevy, even with the Camaro, prior to the new Camaro Z01s with the more power, they were putting down what, like 550, 650 max. And then the Hellcat dropped, and then it was like, okay, so that's what we need to be doing. And now we're seeing Corvette C8s putting down 671 horsepower. We're seeing Mustangs putting down 750 horsepower. We're seeing McLarens and Lamborghinis and all of that stuff taking flight. We're seeing Tesla Plaids that's putting down like 1,200 horsepower, because it's one of them things like Dodge proved that people want performance cars, right? I mean, for the longest time, we just, you know, it was basic. It was kind of what? It was Corvette, it was Mustang, it was Camaro. That's all we had in America, you know, realistically for the common man, as far as performance is concerned. And then if you got a little money, then you went into the AMGs, the BMW M Series. If you got a little bit more money, then you went into the McLarens and the Lambos and you know, so on and so forth. But when Dodge dropped the Hellcat, it was revolutionary. 700 horsepower, muscle car, sedan that you can pick the kids up with. You can go to the grocery store with. You can do a whole lot with, and then you can take it to the drag strip and smoke everything. Everything. But now we've gone from that. I mean, you saw ball players buying Hellcats. Like, that's the thing about Dodge that makes it so fun. Is like, back in the day, like back with MTV Cribs and shit like that was out, you would see Shaquille O'Neal with like a, well, not Shaquille because he's too big, but you would see ball players in their Lamborghinis, in their McLarens, in their AMGs, and you would sit back and you would say, damn, I wish, you know, one day I'm gonna be able to afford one of those cars. But you know you wouldn't be able to. You know you couldn't, because you knew that those cars were $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, right? And that's the type of money that, you know, somebody with the extremely rich or ball player or rapper or an actor or something like that could afford. No common man is driving around in a Lamborghini. You know, back in the day, Diablo or Huracan or Huracan Performante or whatever. Nobody was driving those cars. But to see your favorite rapper, ball player, actor, actress, whatever the case may be, driving the same car that you're driving, a 392 or a Hellcat or a Red Eye, it makes it really feel like there's that connection. Like, bro, you may have made $21 million last year. You know, I made 80,000 or 90,000 last year, but we drive in the same car, and that connects us somehow. It gives you that relatability factor. That's one thing that Dodge brought to the table that no other brand has been able to do, is like that relatability factor. Like, you can see your Hellcat that's sitting in your garage right now as you're watching my video, in the garage of, like, I know for a fact, like LaMelo Ball in Charlotte, North Carolina, who plays for the Hornets right now, him and his brother got demons. You know what I'm saying? SRT demons. The same demons that you probably see at your local Cars and Coffee, the same demon that some of you probably own, the same demon that we see with Demonology on his page. You know what I'm saying? It's that relatability factor. It makes you seem like, oh, you got a Hellcat? Me too. Let's have a conversation. We got something in common now. And, you know, we went from that to what Dodge is going to force feed down our throats in the future with this electric bullshit. And meanwhile, everyone else is doubling down on big engines. You know, we've been force fed this electric car bullshit, and now we've just got to sit back and believe that it's going to be something interesting. And you sit and you watch the executives talk about how revolutionary it is, and oh, we've got a patent on this, and this is one of a kind this, and never before seen this. Nobody wants any of that bullshit. We want big engine, big tires, a lot of noise, a lot of power. That's all. That's literally all we're asking for. Just give us a bigger engine. You don't have to revolutionize. Don't remake the wheel. Just give us a bigger wheel. You know what I'm saying? Give us a bigger engine. Like, realistically speaking, if Dodge were to say, hey, listen, we're going to keep making a Hellcat for another 5 years, but we're not going to do anything to the body. We're not doing anything to the interior, but we're just going to keep giving you bigger engines. There are people that would be like, I'm cool with it. Like 5 years from now, if there was 1,000 horsepower Hellcat Challenger or Charger driving around and you could get it on dealership parking lots, there are a lot of people that would be as content as a cucumber, sitting back like, I'm cool with it. They don't really need to do anything else. because it's all about the experience and the relatability factor. When you go electric, you take all that away from us. And I feel like Dodge is just going out weak because all these other brands are stepping up to the plate. And it's like, okay, so now we can play. Meanwhile, Dodge is like, well, you know, we had a run, we're done. Like, Dodge is going to go back to what they were with the Intrepid, the Neon. What else did they have? The motherfucking Dakota. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, I'm thinking like in the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where Dodge is heading at this point. Just complete and total obscurity. And then it's going to be Ford and Chevy like it was in the past. I don't know how Dodge can give up this big of a market piece or this big of a share of the market so that they can be first to a party that no one's going to. That's just how I feel, man. I just feel like Dodge is going out real weak. I feel like this is some straight weak sauce that Dodge is doing. And a lot of people in my comments, that's a bug right there. A lot of people in my comments have been saying that that Mustang is looking mighty attractive. That C8 Corvette is looking mighty attractive. And I'll be honest with you, it's looking good to me too. You know, you're not the only one. That interior on that Mustang, oh my God, that in and of itself is worth upgrading or changing over rather. I'm just talking, guys. This is one of them ranting videos, not really a scientific video, just kind of your boy ranting right here. But I just feel like Dodge is going out weak. I mean, we went from the Scats, Cats, RTs, 5764, 392, 6.2 liter supercharged, 707, 717, 797, 807, 850 to, you know, a MacBook Pro on wheels, basically. I don't know. I'm just talking, man. Maybe I'm old school. But if you feel the same way, man, you know, drop a comment, talk to your boy, man, because I feel like Dodge is going out weak. And I don't know why. Maybe there's some legislation behind the scenes that we're not seeing. A lot of you guys have been in the comments saying that, you know, this is Joe Biden's America with the Department of Transportation putting so many regulations and restrictions on automobiles nowadays that Dodge had no choice. They were kind of shackled and had no choice but to kill off their V8. But, you know, either way, this is some weak sauce because apparently Ford isn't following by that. Chevy isn't following by those rules. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel, man. Talk to your boy. Like, subscribe, comment. Just one of them videos. I just wanted to talk to you. See you guys in the next one. Peace.